Welcome back to the workshop. I'm Chris. This is Sebastian. Thank you for joining us again. I don't have specific plans of what I'm going to make today. I got something loosely in mind. So with that said, let's go out and look at the wood pile. Come on. Alrighty. So let's go look at what we got here. This stuff I really like. This is English walnut. I got a bunch of willow and some cedar down there. But maybe I'm feeling like this could be fun. A funky live edge bowl with a bunch of piths in it. I think this will end up pretty cool. Yeah. Let's do this. So let's take a look at this. I think, looking at it, this should be the bottom. This flatter section up here at the top. And I think hopefully we'll get 1, 2, 3 piths at least, if not also this little branch here. Let's see how big of a circle we got to work with here. So $100 goes around to there. So I think if we come over here a little bit more, I think right about there. I'll try it. I'll put a little. Actually, X marks the spot. I'm probably going to end up drilling that out anyways. And so if we're going out to the 100, set my calipers. And okay. All right, start cutting this safely. I want to get a flat bottom on here. It's widening out on this side. Conveniently, I think if I put the bottom of this in this rail here, it will slide reasonably well controlled. I can keep my hand out of the way of the blade over here, start with my hand, pass it over here, and it will cut, and we'll come in and we'll cut a little flat, a wedge off the bottom. And then that will give me a flat surface to put it on while I'm cutting it round. So without further ado, okay, let's see how it sits now. Hopefully a little nicer. Yeah, it's a lot better. So now we can start. Don't need all that blade exposed. Okay. for here. Ooh, this is gonna be pretty. So we'll now go I think drill a hole in the top side there. I might want to pour a little bit of thin CA in that. Just to, well, I might wait. We'll turn it away. So drill a clear center spot. Okay, as you can see, got it mounted up. I've got a live center here. I'm using a spur drive center on this side, and you can see it's reasonably well balanced, and this is the top, but I don't currently have access, so I'm gonna turn away a bunch of this bark until I get a thing that's wide enough to get my chuck body into with the spur drive. I would just turn it between centers, but right now this chuck is stuck on the lathe. So we're gonna do that, and then once I do that and have access, I'll flip this around, and first thing I'll do is try to get it round and put a tenon on the bottom. Freshly sharpened. I think it's a 5/8 bull gouge. I forget. Does it say? Nope. Well, you just have to trust me on that one. So, alrighty. Well, now let's start checking. Let's take a look. Not quite yet. A little wider. Can I angle in a little bit? Do we have, nope. I might try and just take down these high spots so I do have clearance. Just about a little wider, but I think I'm going to come in with a I wish I had a square end scraper that wasn't this little dinky one. Well, maybe I'll just use the little dinky one. Do I have access? If I come up, which I need to do anyways, then I might just barely. Okay, yep, looks like we got clearance. Time to flip the sucker around. So we got this turned around. I'm gonna start taking these corners down, and as soon as it makes sense, I'll start sizing out for tenon. Yeah, alrighty. Okay. So that looks like that wants to come off, so okay. Alrighty. Bring the tool rest a little closer. Use the wing, start sliding the bottom. I can turn the speed up a little bit. All right. Rest a little closer. That's going. Okay, starting to no major issues showing up. I'm gonna tighten this up a little more. I think here I might switch to my other. So this walnut has been really cool with these. It's got like little sort of bark inclusions. It's got this really pretty wet sort of sapwood, and it's kind of got three colors where it's got some heartwood, and then it's got this brown stained wood, which I'm guessing is spalted. But I haven't been seeing sort of traditional spalting lines. So here, let's stand quite right. I'm gonna turn it on, bud, so let's stand directly in line. Okay, let's see if I have enough space on the bottom now for tin. Maybe. Looks like we're starting to get there. All right, let's size some calipers to it. This is a little 3D printed jig I made that matches my Vitmart 150 step jaws, and it makes it really convenient for pretty quickly getting your calipers adjusted. You spring the end to the inside and then come in, and these are printed at what Vitmart says is the perfect circle close diameter. That looks about right. So play the game of don't pinch your fingers. Start a little bit further out. Nope. Right up. There. Okay, that's about right. It's a little tall. I'll come in with my spindle gouge, which I called a skew gouge in the last video way too many times for some reason. We'll call it new YouTuber syndrome. So I'm going to come in and add a little bit of a taper, cut it down, trim it down just a little bit. And this notch here is set to the size of my step jaws, and I just don't want it bottoming out. And it doesn't look like it's going to, but I'm going to give it just a teeny bit more room. Okay, what we're gonna do next, I'm gonna knock this little nub off. I'm gonna take it off, and then I'm going to flip it around, put it in the chuck jaws, and I'm going to turn a recess on this side so that I can expand the chuck jaws into it and get a better grip. I'll do that now. All right, we got the sucker turned around. And I've got it chucked up. We can go a little bit faster now. I'm going to be up at about 1,000 RPM. I switched over to my other live center, which doesn't eat into the wood so much. And I think first thing I'm going to do is start turning the sucker round first. And then I want to see if I have enough, I believe I will, enough room to actually make a recess for these chuck jaws. And if I don't, then I'll figure out what I'm doing at that point. All right. That's good. Okay. We're clear, we're clear. Hoping I can keep some of this bark on the top, but I don't have high hopes. Stuff on the top seems like it's stuck on better. Starting to get there. I think I may come over here. I'm still clear, and start doing it from this side. That way I can avoid any of these wood bullets to come off. And yeah. I put my hand up like this because it will deflect the chips from flying right up my face. Okay. Oh, that's looking cool. And over here, got, looks like some early signs of chatoyance if it hangs around. And you can sort of see that you get these cool little kind of flame licks coming off of these bark inclusions in this English walnut. And then this doesn't feel as wet as some of the others. I guess it's had a little more time to dry out, but this stuff has done this really cool shrinkage as it dries around these bark inclusions and some of the heartwood. So, but here you can sort of see the three colors. You can see the heartwood and the sapwood, and then there's this brown color here, which I'm assuming, which is different than the cambium layer here, which also has a really cool pattern usually. Where's a little bug hole? Let's see, was there a spot where we can see some of the, yeah, like right here. The bark on this just looks amazing if you can keep it. But even here you can see like the smattering of the three colors. It's really cool. It looks like we got a bark inclusion around the pith there, which could be cool. Some shinies. This wood is just super fun. Okay, let's keep rounding it up. I think we'll try and bring it to around here. That'll bring us to yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to keep the bark because this section here is missing. And I feel like some of this is probably gonna fly off. And I don't want to bring it too narrow. I want to keep a little bit of a dip. I think having this dip here, so bringing it up to there, I think is gonna be, and we'll see how it comes out over here. Okay. Okay, we got to the center there, and I think if we go, how are those cracked? Okay, oh good, they've been shrinking quite a lot. So I think might try and target, yeah, this top lip here, there. So we'll get to there around, and then I'll start thinking about shape. You do a little more. So off camera, I took the bark off for a couple of reasons, but mainly I thought it was going to come off, and it came off pretty easy. And I like that if I'm not going to have the bark, I like to not have it there influencing how I look at the shape. Also off camera, Sebastian and I discussed some shape ideas, and I think we're going to try to go for a bowl that's sort of rounder this way. He wanted to see how it affects some of this shape stuff here. So I'm just cutting off a little more waste here, and then we're gonna put a recess in and flip it back around, expand the jaws in the recess, and we'll start shaping the bottom to its more of its actual shape on the outside, and find out which of the step jaws will fit that shape the best, and we'll cut it, and then we'll put the tenon on. So yeah, actually I'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and work on the recess now. Okay, I'm gonna set my calipers now to the outside of the jaws, so I know how big of a recess to make. And are we okay? I could do that. So you know what? I'm going to oh, it's caught on the thing. Oh, doesn't have clearance. Always test that. Learned that the hard way. I don't like that. I'm gonna make myself some more clearance. I'll tell you what, it is not fun catching those compasses and having them slam into your knuckles. Yeah, it's much better. See, that just... like that. Even though I was watching it, it caught something. All right. We'll come in with scraper to start. A skew chisel, so they get a rate scraper to come in and set the dovetail. And now, do I want to go a little deeper? Maybe I'm going to have the tailstock on there, but I might want to go a little deeper. I'm going to go a little deeper. There we go. I secured that so you could use it a little bit better as an armrest. Okay. All right, that's where, just double checking where my line was. All right, let's test the fit on this recess. Okay, pretty good. I'm gonna bring my, when I'm seating it, a lot of times I like to bring in tailstock to give me a little bit of pressure to help it center. Okay. First thing I'm gonna do, turn this nub off the bottom so that I can bring the live center back in and get a good fit there. And a 1/2 inch spindle gouge. Alrighty, so now I think I'm gonna start bringing the shape in. And I think definitely that foot's gonna be too wide. I want this to look a little more delicate. So, dope. Okay. That marked up. I'm new at this, so you shouldn't be taking anything I'm doing as an example of how to do it. I haven't had any formal instruction. I took one class in turning spheres, and that was 2 weeks ago. So don't use me as an example necessarily. Start roughing in this shape down here. See what that's doing. There's a crack right there. Once we get a little closer to the shape we like, which actually, this is starting to be an interesting profile. I think we can come in here and just do a little refining and make sure that this foot is going to clear. This is my favorite thing about this thing. So right now, you can come in here, bud, and get a top-down angle. The big benefit of having this thing is my jaws are flexible and can do a lot of different foot sizes, but you got to make sure that your curve is going to clear the outer jaws. And right now you can see that I'm not going to clear the outer jaws here, and so I can keep coming in with this and making sure I'm gonna clear. So how are things looking? Okay. Looking cool. Need to come refine this a little bit. And there, we're starting to get there. Do I clear now? Is this overall shape gonna work? Almost. Really close. So, need to come in and cut the tenon actual size and make sure it's not too, didn't scrape some away during that. Oh, look at this. Come in here if you can, bud. This is gonna look cool down in there, and yeah, wow. Love this stuff. All right, take a step back, bud. Let's make sure this foot diameter is functional. Yep, okay. So now I think I want to come in with my scraper and refine, or is there, do I want to start a nice push cut up that way? I think I want to start a push cut first. I think we're going to do that. Smaller pull gouge, is that sharp enough? Never be sharp enough. So let's come over here to the grinder. I really need better lights over here, but you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna get some of those later priorities versus money. once I get better at the actual turning, then I'm going to start working on learning freehand grinding. You good there? Okay. 600 grit CBN wheel. That's what I use for sharpening my gouges. That's it. Okay. Let's see how stable this is without. Should be pretty good. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to give it one more crank. Okay. Should be good. Pull this back here so it's out of the way. And do a quick cleanup pass on the bottom of the foot there. And then come in with a push cut. Oops. Ah, dang it. Well, let's make sure that little fiasco didn't cost me my foot size. Are we gonna be? Oh, I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be all right. Cool. So that's. Everything becoming a little bit steeper here for my jaws. So let's go ahead and do that before I get carried away up top there. And we're going to take care of that with my scraper. Need a little bit of flow in, I think. It's got a nice wall, but I'm going to jaws. Oh, pretty good quality on that. Okay. So, let's see. So, it's pretty well. Okay. I want to get my rest so that when I'm cutting on center, I got a downward angle on my scraper. And that looks good at the moment. And let's put a little detail on the bottom. That surface finish is so nice. I hate to mess with it, but I don't want to play the bottom. Let's crank the speed up a little bit. Put a little detail. I've got a little corner ground in my scraper so I can do details. I learned that watching Richard Rafford and that's all right. Okay, I'll come out here. Okay, you can see that I bind just a little bit here, and we'll come in right in shortly, honey. And my jaw's clear, which you can see now. So we are good on that front. I'm just gonna come in and blend this, fix up that little thing there, and this little bump up here. And then it's gonna be dinner time. Shabu shabu, baby. So, there we go. That's what that rattle was. His tailstock was gently shear scrape with a fresh burr on the scraper. Here, but you can come around this way because I need to get this light over here. There we go. Okay, it's going well. It's always when I get around to the curve here that I'm not good at this yet, shear scraping around a curve. That's starting to get there. Okay, let's see how that looks. But either way, I think it's going to be dinner time for me and the boy. Okay. No tear out. There's some lumpy dumpies in there, but I think I might end up just blending those in with my sander, especially up here on the wings. A lot of times it's hard to get this final stuff out. And last time I had a lot of good luck sanding the tops of the wings to get that out of there. I got a tiny bit of tear out top of this wing. I may come in and just cut from this side just a tiny bit, but that can open the grain in the other direction. We'll see. But anyways, that's an after dinner problem. So I think I might put a little bit of oil on this just to keep it from drying out too fast. Go ahead and turn the camera off. Alrighty, we ate some dinner. Shabu shabu. I think we're about good here on outer shape. There's a couple sections in here I might want to sand a little bit. We got clearance. There's some fun stuff going on in here. I put some oil on it so it wouldn't dry out too much over dinner and start distorting on me. You can see this really cool sort of flame pattern here in the wood. And once this is sanded up nice, I think we'll get some nice chatoyance up in there, as well as over in here. There's really just a lot of fun stuff going on with this piece. And you can see how much the color has changed with a little bit of oil on it too. And so I'm going to, before I forget, we're gonna tighten, loosen. Good. Make sure it's on there good. I'm gonna, since I put oil on this, there's a little bit of wet sanding, but we'll record a little bit of sanding, but then I'm gonna send the boy inside and turn the dust collector on. It's gonna be loud, and I don't have the air compressor going. So, and y'all have seen sanding before. If someone really wants to see like a detailed sanding thing, they should, and they really want to see me do it, well, I'll wait till someone asks for that. So, I'm going to do the standard going through the grits. And, you know, I'm going to have to pause and hit the tops of the wings on this as I come in. But I squirted just a little bit of CA glue in the pits of these walnut pits, sort of like hollow out. But I'm pretty pleased. There's, you know, there's only one sort of one kind of crack right there. That's basically it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, maybe of interest to some, but I've got this, this is nice for coming in and doing sort of controlled sanding. I got these off Amazon and they were pretty cheap, and it's even nice because one of the things you can do is if you come in, you can basically work with it like a gouge and sort of control your sanding line, but it also helps you keep from, you know, having this dip down or you know, catching an edge on some of these things. So let me get my dust collector in place. Most importantly, sandpaper. So this has been oiled, so it'll be wet sanding. When I'm wet sanding, I also like to, it's very convenient to have an air compressor because you can blow the gunk off the stuff. And Bud, why don't you come around here so I don't sling stuff on you. Bring the speed down. Dust collector on. So there's just gonna be a lot more of that. So yeah, I'll see y'all in a little bit. Alrighty, we are sanded up through 600 grit, and there is a bunch of cool figure in this. Some of it's subtle and some of it's not so subtle. So Gonna put on some tongue oil here, and rub it in real good. Even though we're sanding it up pretty high, you can still work it in there. At least I've found. So if you cut it with orange oil, it flows in a lot better. That's what I use for the sanding sealer on this. Here soon I'm going to try making some of the shine juice. I finally got some blonde shellac and some denatured alcohol, and I need to play around with that some, but that's for another day. So if you rub with the grain, it'll, at least I've found, it helps work it in. So, well, it's not super cold, it's also not super warm in my shop, so it's and then I'll don't forget to hang your oily rags open and unfolded on something non-flammable until they've dried, or properly chuck them in a fireproof trash can or whatever your preference is. But don't wad them up and then let them fall in your trash can with a bunch of wood shavings. That's no good. So, okay. So I think I'm gonna wipe this clean, and then we're gonna turn it around and get started on a little hollowing. I'll probably come back, and most of my stuff I've just sort of turned and finished in one go and done one coat of tongue oil and then some wax, but you know, this is nice enough. I might try and do a proper couple coats of tongue oil and let it dry and cure between coats, and then come back and buff and wax it here in a couple weeks, I guess. But also give it some time to dry out. Alrighty. I'm going to give that a sharpen. Okay, I'll sharpen that. my first or second time using this thing, so. Oh, like that. Dang, I like that.
Ow.
Okay. Turned it the wrong way a little bit. Let's see, I need some more light. Move this trash can. Let's take a look. Okay, getting pretty good on that rim there. That's enough left so that I could get a finish pass on it. And that's working pretty well. As long as I don't tip it that way, even a little bit. So, flat or left. And let's keep rolling. Okay, I'm going to give this a super quick sharpen. Step angle, not quite. Starting to get there. No. Who's that rag? Someone else soften up the fibers for. Nope. Can't go any closer than that. This is where I do one of those inner diameter rests. Now you can see my shadow better. Let me see. That's better. All right, well, the boy's got to get inside, and I'm just going to be doing more of that same hollowing, and hopefully I don't blow it up. But I'm going to let him go inside, and I'm going to hollow and sand this sucker and put some finish on it, and we'll take some beauty shots on the tomorrow. But so far this has gone pretty well. I'm pretty excited.